Once upon a time a girl was born.
And twice upon a time a girl was born.
And thrice upon a time a girl was born.
Until there existed 3 girls who were sisters, who were triplets.
Albion
Was the oldest,
And Beatrix
was the next,
And Carmen
was the youngest.
Albion enjoyed cake very much, and by age 9, her body had become that of a true cake appreciator. Warm like a guitar, hot like a brioche.
Beatrix met her right outside from sunup to sundown, and so she was a child of the sun through and through, with brown skin and freckles on her nose.
And Carmen found the world to be a heavy place and carried it upon her shoulders. It was like a school backpack that you know holds important contents, but sometimes you want to leave on the bus and never pick up again.
The 3 girls lived in the forest with their mother and father. The mother sewed up clothes for the village and the people nearby, and the father chopped down trees deep in the woods.
They also held built castles from old boxes. They lined up dominoes and knocked them down.
Taught the girls how people drank tea in China and danced in Peru. Cooked them dinners.
And cakes.
And cakes. Had quiet chats in rooms sometimes. Walked alone sometimes.
Sat at the kitchen and played cards sometimes. Ran, swim, and built good fires when the winter came.
All this and all fit in the first 10 years of Beatrix, Albion, and Carmen's life.
And the girls knew that in their hearts, that this happiness they felt,
Living in that forest with that man and that woman.
It would never end.
Until one day it ended. There was a silence, and finally a long sigh from Papa, the longest sound ever made.
Our mama.
who we so loved,
Was dead.
When someone like a mother is suddenly gone, she is not the only thing that is lost. Many other losses occur as well.
Albion lost her appetite. And no eclair, or meringue, or Black Forest, or vanilla slice could ever tempt it back.
Beatrix lost her son. Of course, it was still there, hanging in the sky, but it had little to do with her anymore. The moon was her companion as she lay alone at night.
Carmen lost her oddness. Before, it was strange how she was quiet when her sisters were loud. But now, the 3 girls and the father sat around the kitchen table in silence.
And one day, we were all sitting around the dinner table when Papa said,
Girls, there's somebody I'd really like you to meet soon. Her name is Eleanor. Her name is Eleanor, and she shops at a shop where I shop, and she wears her hair up. And if I'm honest with you, which I promised I always would be, it seems that her and I enjoy each other's company very much.
And everything happened very quickly after that.
And then winter came, and it was not a pleasant season. The 3 girls went to sleep each night listening to Eleanor and their father argue. His beard grew back. And then after the arguing came something worse. A silence fell over the house.
Soon it was decided that all 3 girls should move into one room.
And their father said nothing.
and when it was suggested that the girls stop eating cake or playing outside or worrying about others,
he said nothing again.
And when finally one night, Eleanor suggested something unbelievably mad, unbelievably unbelievable.
He said nothing a third time and stared into the fire.
Until he finally spoke.
Girls, put on your coats. The night is cold and we need firewood.
And this was true. So we did,
See you shortly, girls.
Said Eleanor. And there was something strange about these words. The girls would agree later, but obediently, politely, they tipped the hats and headed out into the snow, following behind their father.
We've passed lots of firewood, Father.
We have not been this deep into the woods before, Father.
we have walked for hours, Father. We do not know where we are anymore.
And there the man halted and turned in the snow, which was falling fast and it covered any footprints that had been laid down. And then he knelt and looked at each girl in turn.
Albion, you are the oldest and you know cakes like no other. You should taste every experience in this world. And Beatrix, you are a child of the sun and you warm those around you. You should meet every person in this world. And Carmen, you're concerned with all except yourself. You should find your place in this world. Girls, I love you three with all my heart, and as I have no more use for it, it's all is yours.
And so once upon a time,
And twice upon a time,
And thrice upon a time,
three
girls who were sisters,
who were triplets.
They found themselves alone in a wood.
What becomes of children who are left alone in the woods, Albion?
different things, Beatrix.
Good and bad things?
Just different. We should make a fire and build some sort of shelter straight away.
Yes. And sharpen a rock into a knife and watch the stars work out till morning and...
Our father has just left us. The first thing we should do is think about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what has happened, don't you? Papa has set us off into this world.
There may be bears out there.
And boys out there, hello.
And storms that make great noise out here.
We may be great out here.
We're freeze out here.
We may fall down to our knees out here. The only thing we cannot do is go back. And that's okay. Life is not for going back.
But we must go back and find Papa and convince him of the wrong he has done.
No! Either he has known and acted anyway, or he does not know
In which case, it's too late for him. We need to go forward.
No!
No. Carmen, I'm walking forward. It's either my legs cannot or my spirit cannot. If I'm finished, the world's finished. I'm walking away, Carmen.
Not always, Albion. Because the world is round, and after half a globe's worth of walking away from here, you will start walking towards here. You come back up the other side of the world and find your way to me.
And I'll walk the other way. I will follow our Papa. I will follow the sun. I am walking from east to west, and I'm finding him. But if no Papa shows up, then I'll meet you some other time, big sister I'll be in, at the other ends of the world.
And then the three girls stood in silence. Albin the eldest, Carmen the youngest, and Beatrix in the middle. And already the sun is beginning to rise over the treetops and a new day was beginning. Which is good, because new days are the best things for starting life journeys. And then
I picked up a strong walking stick and I set off east.
I rolled up my socks and rolled down my sleeves, and I set off west.
And I watched them both leave. And I collected 20 or 30 branches piled from smallest to biggest and struck a flint and began my first fire in what would become my new home. Come back! Come back! Come back! Come back to me. Come back. Come back to me.
Beatrix headed west. She had resolved to follow Papa, to follow the sun's path. And when one didn't turn up, she just kept following the other. At dawn each day, she'd feel the sun rise behind her and warm her back.
At noon, she would feel it hanging directly above her head.
And at dusk, she would watch the horizon and see the sun lie down beyond the distant hill. And find a hill of her own and lie down too.
And so it went, until Beatrix was 14 and arrived one day at an ocean.
I looked at the vastness of it.
The humbling majesty of so giant a stretch of water.
And I decided to tame it. An ocean is for sailing, and to sail, one needs a boat. So I'll be hammering and nailing, and I will keep myself afloat.
Beatrix thought of building then, or she would have, if she could have found something to build a boat with. But the shoreline was only made of rolling dunes, which are perfect for running down while screaming.
I did this a few times.
But less good professionally into seaworthy vessels. Finally, after much looking and much running down and much screaming, she climbed to the top of the highest dune and saw in the distance her old friend, the sun.
Even though it was night.
And then it was gone. And then it was back. And gone and back.
Intrigued, she crossed the sandy hills until she reached it. It was a tall lighthouse with a small windmill beside it for pumping up drinking water.
Intrigued, she entered without knocking and climbed coiling stairs. At the top sat an old lady at an old table, looking old.
She cracked walnuts.
Tea, sugar, biscuits.
Walnut?
No!
These are good.
I know. 'Tis why I have them.
Do you often get visitors?
No. 'Tis a lighthouse. The whole point of a lighthouse is you don't want no one getting near it. If no one ever reaches you, then it is a good lighthouse.
I'm going to need a boat
What for?
to cross the sea.
Oh, what's on the other side?
The rest of the world and my papa, maybe.
I went looking for the rest of the world once when I was a young woman. I ended up here. Old women now.
I'm crossing it.
Okay.
But I'm going to need your lighthouse.
No!
Then you have to come too. This way.
And so Beatrix leads the old lady outside and asks her for certain things.
Toolbox, fishing nets, and the ropes.
Beatrix sets to work.
I climb to the top of the lighthouse and I attach the ropes. Then I tie them to fishing nets and fling them into the ocean. Slowly they start to fill.
With pike and tuna and lungfish and mackerel and halibut, the fish get angry about being held and they strain to get back to the open water. And as the ropes pull tight, the lighthouse groans and tilts and, oh God! It crashes down to the beach, nearly reaching the ocean. And still the fish strain at the nets, and slowly the whole lighthouse is being dragged over the dunes and into the sea. The lighthouse is pulled under the waves with millions of fish all trying to swim down and away.
It's dark down here,
Says Beatrix, who misses her sunshine. And so the old lady reaches over to a switch in the wall and,
This is better.
says the old lady,
Oh, thank you. I've been meaning to get moving for a while now.
Oh, no problem. Walnut?
No! This is mine.
and together they glide west, ever west, like a super submarine with the sun at its nose.
Along the hills, along the trails, along the waters, alone I'll sail. But come what may, through storm and sea, you'll find me back at the cherry tree. Along the hills, along the trails, along the waters, alone I'll sail. But come what may, through storm and sea, you'll find me back at the cherry tree. Along the hills, along the trails, along the waters, alone I'll sail. But come what may, through storm and sea, you'll find me back at the cherry tree. Along the hills, along the trails, along the waters, alone I'll sail. But come what may, through storm and sea, you'll find me back at the cherry tree.
Albion headed east.
Very soon, my sister went from trudging in a flat way to leaning in a steep way.
I have reached the top.
That was a good thing to say. Because that's what a journey must be. A lot of little successes.
My older sister studied the top of the hill and saw.
A cherry tree full of cherries. Fantastic.
And so she gobbled up a handful and filled her pockets of hundreds more. Over the next years, Albion walked, dropping 3 cherry seeds every mile, 1 for each of the sisters.
And the trees,
In their threes,
Slowly grew.
And one day, when the eldest sister was resting under a bridge, she heard the clatter of hooves above her head. As she ran out to see many, many people on horses with a smell of fear pouring off them. And Albion yelled, "Stop!
Whoa! Where are you going and why ever so quickly?
And a man said,
Our village! They pillaged the land that I tillaged out the barrels! This village! The Vikings are here!
Look, I have never met these Vikings that you talk about, but having heard your story, I don't think I like them. Do you? So, if this were my village and not your village, I would stand on the top of that tallest building and yell, "Go away, Vikings! And do not bother me or my friends anymore, because if you do, you will feel it in every inch of your Viking bodies." Okay?
And everyone stares at this shouty person who has come out from under a bridge. And they say nothing. Because it's an unnerving thing to be told big information by little people.
What?
And so finally, one young girl speaks.
But before we didn't fight, we lost some people that we love. And now if we do fight, we might lose even more people we love. And then we might never be able to see that person we love again. Like a sister, or a mother, or a father. Can you imagine what that would feel like?
Yes, I can. I have lost all of those things at one time or another. But this is your home, and we need to protect it. So fight! 1, 2, 3, charge.
And everybody does, until a short time later they arrive back at the village and find...
Oh my God!
Thousands of them!
Well, we told you that. You said to not worry and fight, didn't you?
No, well, okay, I did. Fight!
Ha! 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 Ha!
And on that day, and for 6 days afterwards, the biggest, bashiest, bloodiest, roaringest, nastiest, saddest, excitedest battle takes place, with yelling and screaming, and blood and hair pulling, and horses and boats, and 1,000 different noises.
And 1,000 different silences as we watch the Vikings sail away.
And Albion realizes she is strong and heroic and can lead people. She doesn't like the blood on her skin, but looking at herself in the ocean, she sees the blood washes off.
My days of eating cake and caring for nothing are over,
Says the girl to herself and to the sea. And climbing from it, she picks up the biggest sword she can find and sticks it in her belt. Then she plants 3 cherry seeds in the scorched earth, 1 for each of the sisters. And reborn as a woman of war now, she wanders off along the road. One sister, Beatrix, she journeys beneath an ocean. A second sister, Albion, she walks with a sword. And a third sister, Carmen. We find her exactly where we left her.
For the first 3 years, I lived simply, beneath a tree.
And on that first winter, the living was hard and cold. And it was very lucky her posture was so bad and her shoulders so curved, as this is the perfect shape one needs to keep an icy wind at bay.
But then spring came, and the trees bloomed, and beautiful little bunny rabbits came out, frolicking happily.
And I ate those rabbits. And some hares. And a very large badger. And several squirrels. And a mole. And a raccoon. And a dove.
And then it was summer. And Carmen built a hammock from strong vines in a shady place and slept in.
This was comfy.
But also for safety, as we animals hated her and would spend our nights poking at her and keeping her awake. Revenge!
And then when Carmen was 18, she busied herself. And she called her business
Building a house.
Carmen began by calling a woodland meeting and offering her apologies to every animal for eating so many of them. And then she explained that she wished to be friends with them and live amongst them forevermore.
I will need a house, and a house in the wood needs wood.
So the beavers chewed down trees.
The squirrels carried branches and the worms carried ferns.
And the badger does nothing at all. Carmen has eaten his brother early that year. And he's still mad, which she completely understands. He just loiters around the edge of the worksite, making rude hand gestures and scowling. Occasionally, he'll tip over a wheelbarrow or smash a window, but no one says anything about it.
Well, everyone an animal alike, Carmen an animal alike, well, except Badger, attach ropes to the structure, and heave! And the walls are pulled to a standing as 1,000 little birds gently lower the roof down.
And Carmen finds that she's suddenly in a strange situation. She has a house now, which means she'll never be cold again. But before, when the woman had nothing, she felt quite content. And now that she has something, she finds
I'm missing things.
the woman misses company. Do people do in lighthouses that pass beneath the water?
They play cards and take pictures of new sea monsters. And drink a huge amount of tea.
And eat too many of my biscuits.
And eventually, after a few years of this, we arrive somewhere.
It was the harbor of a huge city.
Ding. 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 Ding.
This is the most boring city ever! I feel like I'm going to explode!
And she didn't, because that would have been the end of her story.
Ding.
Hello, boring people!
Shouts the strange
Ding.
woman who has come out of the sea.
Why are you all so boring?
And the crowd says,
Ding. Ding.
Well, what songs do you sing here?
Ding.
This city doesn't have any songs that we know of.
Wait, there's that one that's like,
Ding.
how are you? Good.
Ding.
Thank you. And you?
That one's
Ding.
called being polite. We don't sing that.
Oh, then no songs.
Ding.
Well, what about your dances? Show me a dance!
Oh, we have a dance.
Ding.
That's called walking.
Oh, then no dances either.
But that's why legs were invented. And
Ding.
none of you have suntans.
Too many clouds.
Or colors.
I'm allergic.
Or laughter!
That sounds nice.
What's that?
Ding.
You've got to be joking. Hold on.
and Beatrix runs inside and
No, it's mine!
Ding. Ding.
C'est si bon de partir n'importe où, bras dessus, bras dessous, en chantant des chansons. C'est si bon de se dire des mots doux, de petits rien du tout, mais qui rendent en langue, en voyant notre mine ravie. Les passants dans la rue nous envient. C'est si bon de gaieté dans ses yeux, une esprit merveilleux qui donnait la frisson. C'est si bon, ces petites sensations, ça vaut mieux quelques millions. C'est tellement, tellement bon. C'est bon. Voilà, c'est bon. Les passants dans la rue. Bras dessus. En chantant des chansons. Quel espoir merveilleux. C'est bon. Je
Well, that's
cherche
that
un
then.
millionnaire
Oh,
avec des...
look. The sun's out.
Incredible!
And suddenly, Beatrix was the most famous woman in the whole city. One night, the three sisters found that they'd been traveling for 10 years and found also that tomorrow they'd be 22.
Every morning, I wake in a ditch. My arms are strong now and no longer for carrying cakes. My arms are for carrying arms. My clothes are covered in dirt and blood. Some of it's my own. Most of it's not my own. I'm 22 today. I laugh less now. My eyes are cold and my ears are filled constantly with the shouts of men. My hair is long.
Every day, I wake up in a mansion. Each morning, I sign autographs, and at night, I go to parties and eat more than I should, drink more than I should, and do everything a little bit more than I should. I'm 22 today. I laugh, but mostly at the things I say. A huge table is set up for me full of 1,000,000 presents, but from my father and my sister, there's nothing. My hair's long.
Every morning, I wake in my house. It's become very full lately. People heard there was a lady in the woods that can never say no to helping anyone. I'm 22 today. I laugh to make other people feel happy now. And my eyes always watch the teapot in case it's getting empty. My mouth always holds a needle as I'm always sewing up people's ripped clothes. My hair is long.
Along the hills, along the trails, along the waters, alone I'll sail. But come what may, through storm and sea, you'll find me back at the cherry tree.
Along the hills, along the trails, along the waters, alone I sail. But come what may, through storm and sea, you'll find me back at the cherry tree. Along the hills, along the trails, along the waters, alone I sail. But come what may, through storm and sea, you'll find me back at the cherry tree. Along the hills, along the trails, along the waters, alone I sail. But come what may, through storm and sea, you'll find me back at the cherry tree. On their 22nd birthday, the three sisters look at the waking up places and they realize they are not happy. They miss cakes. They miss the sun. They miss a moment for themselves. And they miss their sisters.
And I'll feel it now. Because today, in this very moment, Albion and Beatrix, they've done it. They've walked right to the end of the world and reached the other side. They're at their meeting place, but not meeting.
And so now every step they take is actually a step back.
A step back towards Carmen and a step back towards home.
And walking home, even when you don't know you are, always feels good.
Another 2 years passed, and my sister Carmen turned 24.
She could feel it in her bones that we were on our way now.
But what they'd find when arriving, I wasn't so sure.
Hey, girl.
Hello.
Tea is really spilling.
Really?
It's really spilling.
Namaste.
It's really spilling.
Okay.
The three girls strangely all over the house, waiting for it to look after them. They look. They fill the whole fridge, change the channel until they right in the middle of a good program, and use the toothbrush without asking. And one day, she had enough.
Oh! What the? There's a badger in the house! I'm in the middle of a game here! Hello? Can you get it? Can you get it? Can you get it out of here?
Right! All right, you two eating all my biscuits, and you who just used up all the hot water in the shower, and you with the dog that keeps farting in my house. Get out! In fact, all of you, get out!
Like, you're the lady in the woods who helps, like, everyone, and we need help.
Well, you've helped yourself to everything, and now there's none left. Go on, please, back to the village and tell everyone I'm closing for at least a fortnight. What? Maybe 3 weeks even.
Ow! All right, but thanks for all the help, though.
It's okay. Now, bugger off!
She means it. Fine. You were never that great anyways.
Hey, back with my map.
Oh!
If that's you, Badger, trying to annoy me, I said, bugger off! That goes for animals too, even ones whose brother I ate!
Sorry to correct you, miss, but I'm not a badger.
The very nice-looking man
Stands in the doorway and says,
I am a Peter,
Hi, Peter!
and I do have a brother,
A brother?
but I don't believe he's been eaten recently, by you or by anyone else, in fact.
Hi! Hello. Hi. What can I do for you?
Oh, I don't need anything. I was just out walking, but then a very abusive badger hit me on the head with a branch and stole my map. This way. And I stood at your door for some reason.
Carmen sees Badge in the kitchen window, winking at her.
and I thought I'd say hello, but now is a bad time.
No! Please, come in. I was just about to make myself a bolognese. Are you hungry?
Oh, famished. I'll roll the pasta while you make the sauce. That is, if you don't mind cooking for two.
Two's the perfect number I feel like cooking for.
It was late November when the snow was starting to fall that Albien walked into a village that looked like a lot of other villages she walked into. There, on its main street, people sat looking sad, and she knew that her help was needed. Albien dropped 3 cherry seeds into the dirt and approached a woman.
You. Hi. I see you are depressed. And your friends are depressed. Have you just been attacked?
Attacked? No.
So you are about to be attacked.
Not that I know of. No.
So you are the attackers. There is another village and you decided you must attack them. Come on, this way. I know how to.
Have we? No, I don't think so. Look, sorry to argue, but we really aren't interested in attacking of any kind.
Oh, but you all look so sad. I just assumed
We
that.
are. We are sad because we're hungry.
Hungry? For war?
No! Hungry for some croissants, or maybe some small cakes, or even a good packet of biscuits.
Biscuits?
Do you happen to have any packets of biscuits?
I have a sword.
Is it edible?
No, it's a sword. I mean, I guess if you just like break off.
Oh, I thought as much. Off you go then. Good luck with finding an attacking place. I think there's some people attacking each other over that way.
Hold on. This is my job, though. This is what I do.
Okay, if it makes you happy.
No, it doesn't make me happy, but I make other people happy.
By killing them?
By killing people who want to kill them. I want to save people. I want to save you.
Okay, thanks. But killing anyone won't save us. Pie would, though. A lasagna would save us for sure.
Lasagna.
Problem is, her baker left. He fell in love with the chef, and as they fled, they ran right over the butcher, which means we have a meat counter, and a restaurant, and a bakery, but we have absolutely no idea what to do with them. That's why we're hungry, you see. Our bellies, they echo.
Oh.
And Albien looks at the sad, hungry face before her. But she looks back as well, back to a time when she was a young woman, and she could talk about sweets and cakes and pork crackling all day long.
Pork crackling.
Can I see this bakery?
Sure. The door's wide open. Go on in.
A bakery is all the same things as a war zone, except it does the opposite to one. It takes things that are once lying flat, and it makes them rise.
My sister makes a decision then and walks through the doorway.
I swapped my armor for an apron, and my sword for a rolling pin, and my angry, brave eyes for shining, busy ones. And all morning, the villagers and I, we bake cakes. And at night, we eat cakes, and then we sit by the fireplace, and then we tell stories that are, I don't know, a little bit true.
The best kind.
And then I sleep. My first content sleep in many, many years. I wake with a smile on my face. And a gasp!
For there Albien sees it. The villagers during the night have got the biggest wagon they own and tied 30 strong horses to it. Whoa. And then they've lifted up the bakery and placed it on top. A perfect mobile kitchen.
Right. We have decided you bake good and we cannot afford to lose you. Oh. So, we're coming with you. Climb up into your kitchen and let's get going.
Okay.
And having suddenly forgotten its use, Albion tosses the sword aside and climbs aboard. Then with a firm,
Hey, yeah!
the village rolls away.
For real though, I'm like not dreaming, right? Like this is actually happening?
Yes!
Beatrix is 28 now and is walking back up the other side of the planet. Every kilometer or so, she would find 3 cherry trees that grow together and reminds her of her sisters. Each group was a bit taller than the last, and this feels like a good thing, as it lets her know she's heading towards the right direction.
But it can
West.
be tiring to circle the whole world without remembering what you're looking for.
And so one day, the planet reminds her.
Hello?
Do you mind if I borrow some of your shade?
Of course.
You're a traveler.
Yes.
You've been traveling a long time.
How do you know?
Sunburns on your shoulder. The sun doesn't like you.
Well, you're sunburnt too.
The sun doesn't like me either. I grew a whole garden of sunflowers once, and I let them die.
That's sad. I had a permanent suntan once, but I let it fade.
That's very sad too.
Well, are these your 3 trees?
No, but I like trees and threes and these.
With that much sunburn, you must have walked from very far away.
Yes, from the other end of the world.
Oh. I knew some people in that place. And you must have left a long time ago.
16 years.
Funny. Me too.
Because the garden died?
Something like that.
It's good to see you again, Dad.
It's good to see you too, Beatrix. So, you're heading home now.
I've been heading home this whole time, but I think I'm finally ready.
Good. Am I coming with you?
Yes, Papa. You're coming with me.
We can feel it now, or at least I can. The story is coming to an end. The world and its distances are shrinking. Things seem familiar once more. The sound of the air, the sound of that river. In the house, Carmen begins putting fresh flowers in vases each day. On two hills, Beatrix and Albion begin walking down towards the forest.
One day, from the forest, I see the silhouettes from two hillsides and lights a fire.
One day, I see chimney above a forest.
And walk a little quicker.
All three sisters fix their hair, and without thinking about it, they touch their face. They feel lines that were not there once, skin that is going to fit them.
I'm full and happy. My cheeks, they're round once more.
I'm sunny and warm, and my freckles are out again.
I'm cozy and sure. My belly carries the world like my shoulders once did.
Along the hills, along the trails, along the waters, alone I sail. But come what may, through storm and sea, you'll find me back at the cherry tree.
All three sisters stand in a clearing in front of a small house. And they forget themselves now and look instead at one another.
I see a mother and a wife as she stands next to her proud man and a shy boy.
I see a wholehearted baker with flour on her hands and hundreds of friends.
I see a brave explorer who has found the thing she went searching for.
I'm Albion.
And I'm Beatrix.
Carmen, it's good to see you!
And all three sisters, and a papa, and a Peter, and a child, and a village, and all the things you collect over half a lifetime. They go inside, they take off their boots, they drink tea, and they tell a whole world's worth of stories.
Gave our sister a job.
I gave
my
her.
God.
And who are you?
I'm my husband. Nice to meet
Let's welcome our director, Reggie, and our assistant director, Yan. And Baby.
Hello. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Reggie. This is my assistant director and creative director of Studio Starlit, Yan. Thank you so much for making it out here tonight for This Girl Laughs, This Girl Cries, This Girl Does Nothing. If you want to learn more about the programs that we have or all about this studio, this production studio that we work with, feel free to browse the booklet or come and speak with us or look up Studio Starlit. Yeah, round of applause for our amazing young actors. Thank you so much for coming.